All right, all right. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Let me know in chat, please. If you are one of my wolves, we are using the YouTube chat this morning for questions and whatnot. Can you hear me? Can you see me? L, F, G, J, J. Hope y'all had an amazing weekend. Ready to get back down to business. July 4th was great. Spent some time up north. Spent some time with my fam, visiting some friends and stuff like that, some family friends, so it was awesome. Let's get to it, all right? We got some gappers this morning. Last week, in terms of small cap at least, was quite a bit slower for the first half of the week at least. Picked up a little bit, some good macro news in the markets and stuff on Friday, so some stuff with rate cuts and stuff like that. And look where we got SPY heading towards, right? Brand new fresh highs Friday, right? And I predicted this when, like November of last year or so, that they were going to absolutely run these markets into the election, okay? This is something I've been saying for a really long time. I wish I had a little bit more faith in it. Personally, from like an investment standpoint, only a small amount of my IRA has gone into longer term stuff this year. So it's okay. It is what it is, but it's pretty cool to see, and it's pretty crazy, right? It's pretty crazy. So can y'all not hear me? What's going on? Again, we're using the YouTube chat. Let's see here. There you are. I'm like, I'm all alone. Where are you guys at? Wake up. Questions, comments, concerns, anything, just pop them out so I can see. Tickers, all that good stuff. All right. If there's anything I'm missing, holler at me so we can get it up, so we can get it going. Okay, we've got SVMH as our top percent gainer this morning. It's a bottom bouncer. Okay, it's a bottom bouncer, a true bottom bouncer, which I categorize stocks basically under 20 cents as true bottom bouncers. And that's what we're seeing here in SVMH. They do have a catalyst this morning. They deployed advanced AI platform to manage lead generation platform for Prana electric motorcycle. Okay. Again, pump and dump for the most part, all of these by the companies themselves. That being said, really nice move, 15.35. So we've got SVMH to keep track of. We're just going to quickly go through tickers first, okay? And then we'll get back to it. Why do buyers buy so low with no volume after the wash? Way too general of a question. I don't find that to be the case. Most buyers are buying way too high into strength, okay? Most buyers are buying way too high into strength. IVP says the float's 750 mil. Let's see here. What is the news here on IVP? July 3rd. That was last week, right? Nothing. So it's kind of interesting that they're popping here. Okay. So it's a day 3 surge here, essentially. It's not a pretty one. Okay. They did, it's not even that, I'd say. So, breakout, I guess, right? A multi-day breakout. I guess we could call this. So yeah, I mean, there's not much for me to do with something like this in terms of there's no catalyst. It is a breakout, right? So that's all I can really say from a daily perspective is that we've got a breakout chart forming right now. Like right now it's gapping up to this breakout, okay? For example, it's just not something where I look at the daily chart. There's going to be a huge gap this morning from 125 to 3. I'll need it to get back down towards like $2 or really retrace, at which point, obviously, it's a failed breakout too. Tough call for me. Not really. It's doing a lot of volume. I will say that, right? This was 16 million throughout the day. It's done 16 million shares this morning. But again, let's get into this minute chart, 5-minute chart, break down the levels really fast. Sorry, here's your breakout level. Yeah, there's not much for me there, y'all. Hey, if there's a catalyst or is there something that I'm missing on my software or within my research for these tickers, absolutely jump on and let me know. Why don't I trade pre-market? I do. If pre-market trading is fruitful, I'll trade pre-market. Right now, I'm in a pre-market trading mode for sure. These are the areas where I watch for dip buys. Okay. And it did volume on Friday, right? On Friday after hours too on IVP. So $2, the $2 area, the $2.50 area are the two ideas risk-wise for me, right? Risk-wise would be this $2.50 area to 2. This 2 area, okay? Now, if it gets down to those areas, it is a little beaten up. 250 would be my earlier trade, obviously. It's just tough with no catalyst. Let me get to my DT real fast, too. So here's a perfect example. IVP. Someone let me know the one from Friday that did this. Okay, someone let me know the one from Friday that did this. This is technically a split pump, but not really. Okay, a reverse split pump. It's just too old. It's from May. All right, it's an old pump. It's an old split that's already traded, has already gone through its cycle and done an offering and all that good stuff. IVP has an S1 right now. This is really important, okay? Because we just saw this happen on Friday. What happened to the one on what was the ticker on Friday where this happened? But let's get to this really fast. Let me get to this so you can see, because this is the most important, one of the biggest parts that no one teaches, okay? No one teaches this. No one. They just tell you to come to these things and buy the levels and whatever. These are the little things that have kept me safe. Well, not little things, big things. Something called fundamentals, right? Everyone's like, oh, fundamentals, they're small cap. They're small cap. Yeah, they're scams. But the cool part about what we do is that they tell you exactly what they're doing or not doing. All right. In terms of the filings, right? Everyone's scared of the filings and they don't want to look into it or think about fundamentals with these stocks, but you have to. If you're trying to be long, you have to, right? I think if you want to avoid the worst case scenarios and the reason why trading long small cap is so hard, you have to get into fundamentals. Let's see here real fast. Here's IVP. You can see their actual float is 900,000 or so. Okay. You can see high risk, high risk, high risk, high risk, right? Authorized shares will be increased to 100 million 20 days after the mailing of the proxy statement. Blah, blah, blah. Reverse split was also reduced. Authorized shares to 1 million, blah, blah, blah. This is what is concerning, okay, is that they've got this S1, a $12 million S1. This is an offering that's in progress. They're telling you it's in progress, and the pricing has not been priced, right? At least publicly yet. They've not disclosed the price to you. But I promise you, it's somewhere sub 2. It's probably $2 or $1.50 or $1.70 or $1.80. So when the stock's trading at $1.50, they got to get this stock price pumped back up, right? That's what they got to do. And they're going to drop the price of this offering at some point. Okay? Don't believe me? Happens all the time. And they'll do it right in the middle of the day. Okay? I don't think it was QLGN. Let me see. I'll tell you by looking at the chart. I don't think that was it. It wasn't like a big volume drop there. I think it was maybe CNSP. Yeah, look. So there was, first of all, gap and crap reversal was in play on Friday. Right? Gap and crap reversal has been in play recently, y'all. So when we're talking morning plays, keep that. I am also keeping that in mind, even on IVP, even on SVMH, even on Zap's a little higher price at the moment. SHPW, SCERO, KA. Let's get you. Here we go. CNSP. Okay. Same thing. Look, they ran it from $1.20 to over $3, almost identical to IVP this morning. They had exactly what I just showed you on Dilution Tracker, right? Which is this in progress offering, for $12 million. Okay. Now check out CNSP. Same thing. They gapped up, right? Here's IVP. Same time frame. Sorry. Here's IVP this morning, right? 1, they got it up to 4 already this morning. Okay, here's the breakout level on IVP. So just keep that in mind, because CNSP, if you look what they did, the gap and crap reversaled. Nice gap and crap reversal. Selling to highs, by the way, because that has been the theme. Okay. Gap and crap reversal, selling the high ideas, selling to VWAP, selling the high a day, right? On CNSP, it's stuffed high of day. And then right here in the afternoon, and they always seem to do it kind of midday or afternoon, right? They priced their offering in the ones. This just happened. This happens all the time. Okay? Let me know if this makes sense to you in chat right now, please. That these are the situations that you can avoid specifically through a 2-second check on Dilution Tracker or a 2-second check going through the filings. Does that make sense? In progress right now. So if you are long on IVP when they price this, which most of the time it's after hours or pre-market, but sometimes, like we saw on CNSP, like we saw on LGVN earlier this year, they did it. It happens. And if you're long while it happens, that's on you, because they tell you it's in progress. Okay? It's the best part about what we do. It's a little bit of due diligence to the long side. Does actually provide you edge over the rest of the longs. I don't think really the fundamentals provide as much of an edge to the short side anymore, only because so many people, almost every short broker, by the way, almost every short broker now is throwing in Dilution Tracker. So almost every short has the ability very quickly to look at this, and they do, right? And they use these levels. So that's that. CNSP, IVP. I'll tell you, with how stocks have been trading recently, especially last week, the day trading portion of this, I'd be looking for gap and crap reversal off 250, right? Anywhere into this area, I'll be watching for gap and crap reversal this morning. And I will look to sell it into VWAP, and I will look to sell it into high of day, just like CNSP did, right? It would look something like this. If I were to trade IVP this morning, this is what I would want it to look like, just like CNSP on Friday. Okay? You know, hopefully without the offering part. Hopefully this one rips and whatever else, but that's what I'm looking for. Does that make sense? Something like that on IVP now. Singles, right? Single the VWAP and high a day and take it and run. That's kind of the MO for me this week so far. Okay. More tickers. Obviously KOSS, right? Went meme last week. KOSS went totally meme last week. Because of Hello Kitty. Okay. Hello Kitty broke this thing out hard last week to $20. So good to see. Today is a day 3. And right now we're gapping down, which means what am I looking for this week on KOSS? Someone let me know in chat, please. First of all, I'm watching this area for bounce. Big picture bounce, right? Previous breakout level, 7. Let me know in chat. Only one of you? Where are my people at? Let's go. First green day bounce. Okay. First green day bounce. I'm looking for the first green day bounce on KOSS. That's all. That's the only setup, which is the best part about that setup. If you miss setups, if you're missing breakouts these days, especially this year, if you're missing day 1 moves, big day 1 moves, that's perfectly fine. These things are setting up for third day surges these days. They're setting up for first green day bounces, which are much more predictable patterns than day 1 gappers. Okay. That's factual. Questions. Okay. It will be straight Q&A into the open. 10 more minutes here into the open. Okay. Straight Q&A. We'll look at a few tickers as well, but KOSS, I'm waiting for first green day bounce. Where am I looking for that? Well, let's get back to the 30-minute. Okay. I would think somewhere in the 9s or 10, we may see 10 has protected really nicely, right? So you can set price alerts and do whatever else you want. But that's where I'll start, being interested. And so the idea for me is either build a swing position into weakness today and hope for first green day bounce tomorrow and cut if it doesn't work, or wait for first green day bounce tomorrow and then buy it if it's gapping up and it gives me levels. What are my thoughts on why GMZ for reverse split play closing in on $1? And this is Colin. What's up, Colin? Thanks for the question. So we're talking a split pump for a fade to $1 here. You know, yeah, worth a watch. Certainly this week, right? They did their split. They got to hold $1 for 10 days. Faded towards $1.29, right? My whole MO is if they close under $1 and I'm messing with $1, it makes me a little bit weary, but certainly worth a watch this week. Okay? Certainly worth a watch this week. Thank you. What else have we got? Zap this morning, right? Breakout chart last Wednesday and Friday. Continuation today. Big continuation. Big continuation today for Zap, right? So they're squeezing this morning. Can't chase it. Good for, great to see these charts continue to do this. As long as the market stays strong, these bigger picture ideas, y'all, there are some decent ones. Okay, some good swing opportunities. I've got a student that's made $10 million this year, essentially, right? From this market. It's been so absolutely fantastic. Okay. Just a crazy, crazy year. So, in other words, first green day bounces in particular. Okay. This is really, 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 really important. Okay. This is one of my swing secrets. If you want it, smash the like. Make sure you're subscribed, as I'm going to detail these more for the second half of the year for sure. But one of my favorite swing entries right now is first green day bounce. Okay. So now something like KOSS, where it's very extended. Okay. For it's very extended and stuff like that. Maybe not so much, but your run-of-the-mill breakout charts and stuff like that, that first green day bounce, okay, can oftentimes become a decent breakout entry. So swing entry, in other words. This one took a little while, but I'm talking about this green day. This first green day has been somewhat decent, right? Somewhat decent. And then you can see even here, like those lows held. So we're seeing a lot. All I'm saying is that we're seeing stocks that normally would just pop and drop and fail breakout and die, hold up and then break out. So both ways. I'm looking at it to hit singles on my day trades and then look for bigger picture swing ideas. And let's see what we get going into the end of the year. Okay. It's a beautiful, beautiful time, and it's a beautiful market. Do I ever buy first green day in pre-market? OPTT would be an example of this. Yeah, I have no problem buying pre-market on a first green day. Now this is gapping up to 39, right? And it is a first green day. This is the first green day I was talking about, by the way, for breakouts. Actually, that's not true, because this was a green day. This is the first green day, okay? Which is an interesting, type of thing here, but definitely breakout. Yeah, I've been watching breakout levels like 29, 28, and it's not getting there. So tough call. I don't want to chase it. All right. I don't want to chase the first green day bounce. Especially post breakout gap, like big gap up breakout idea on something that's generally speaking dilutive. But certainly risk established on something like this as these lows for me, if I were to trade it. Okay. Or even green, red green would probably be a little bit, it would be a little bit more prudent for me. Right. And you can see that is what this volume coming in is. Did they PR this morning? Press release, signs an agreement. Yeah. So they PR'd again this morning. They're pumping. OPTT's on the pump, y'all. They're on the pump. Yeah. I don't hate the idea of watching them. And a risk idea would be green red. Okay. For that first green day bounce. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Listen, all of you have to understand this. This is one of the most important things you can learn in trading, especially if you're newer. First of all, the one thing I teach the most if you're new is don't buy through high a day. Don't buy through high a day. Careful with breakouts. This market, breakouts can be very fruitful as long as you're controlling downside, because at the top of a breakout is what? If it fails, a failed breakout, and a failed breakout is the top, right? So your margin for error is very low when you're buying through highs. Okay. I saw someone mention they like to dip buy. They don't like to dip buy under VWAP. Well, I think you're eliminating some of the best risk reward opportunities in the markets. Okay. And I almost exclusively only buy under VWAP. Almost exclusively. Okay. Am I in KOSS? I am not in KOSS. I generally avoid meme stocks unless I can get great entries, and I couldn't on KOSS. So I avoided it. Okay. They're not worth what they're trading at, in other words. And it makes me weary of offerings and all that other good stuff that companies like this do when their prices get up artificially, because that's how they make money. If you were in charge of KOSS and you didn't take this move and take cash out of it like an ATM, then you are not a good CEO. They need that. This cash will help them, whatever cash they end up getting from this. Okay. What if a breakout has a blue sky above the break? It literally means absolutely jack shit to me. Now, listen, I'm talking about mid cap, small cap stocks. Okay, I'm not talking about big cap real companies with earnings and cash. Right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about smaller cap companies that dump religiously. Right? Religiously. That's why and if I were to be dumping, I dump into the breakout. Does that make sense? That's why if watch high of day breaks, watch them get stuffed every morning with millions and millions and millions of shares, right? And again, no resistance. It really doesn't mean anything. To me, it becomes unpredictable up there anyways. Where am I going to take it? I like to use the range that these charts give. Market is open. Market is open, y'all. Okay? Market is open. Again, we've got SVMH, which has a breakout chart brewing as well here in the 45, 46 cent range. What was their filings? What were their filings like? Sorry. We'll do a few more seconds and then we got to get going. Low need there. Low. They've got 10 million warrants, 26 million outstanding. SPAC warrants. So yeah, almost nothing. SVMH is pretty clean filings wise for now. Here's that 15-minute chart. You can see just straight extension on the 15, right? With this last gasp level of potential support here in the 27 cent range. That's what I see, right? On their PR. Quick morning reversal already to highs. Pressing towards pre-market highs means zero trade for me, right? This is exactly what I was talking about. Hey, you guys want 5 more minutes of live? Smash the like, and we'll do 5 more minutes of live just to get a few points across, and then we'll move on to the Discord webinar. So, yeah, if this is strong and pushes through to pre-market highs like this, I ignore it. Really, at the end of the day, if it's not giving me 27 or mid low 20s even, I ignore it. ZAPP, higher priced, breakout, morning spike, I ignore it. Sorry, it just is what it is. There is zero edge for me just trading any of this, right? There's just zero edge for me. Plus, they've already split pump and done all the things. Really beautiful. Really, really. I mean, this thing, y'all, has gone from 70 cents to $7.50 over the last few weeks, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. IVP one more time. Peep that. Big pull there, right? Big pull right out the gate. A little bit too early for the reversal for my liking if this reverses, but it did pull really, really hard out the gate, right? The last few gap and crap reversals have been a little bit different. They've been a little bit more fadey, choppy fadey. This is a big panic. Okay. key to me on these is also to not chase the bounce, right? It got sub VWAP. Now it's getting over VWAP. And then the main key on something like IVP is also to remember that this is a breakout level. This is somewhat of a breakout level, right? The original breakout level here, lower volume. But to remember big picture, right? Big picture is it's gapping up from 150. So in other words, biggest picture here is that they've got an S1 to price. Okay. Biggest picture here is that they've got an S1 to price. So if I miss a trade here, I don't mind. I'm not like have to be in this, in other words, right? From a macro perspective, which to me is always the most important. If I can't hold this overnight where I'm buying it, I shouldn't, I got to be careful with it. It's not that I can't buy it. A lot of my day trades are just day trades, but the idea behind it is that I should, wherever I'm buying it, I should be safe enough to hold this shit overnight, right? If not, I'm buying in a dangerous area still. I don't hate this area for a potential bounce. Giving it a few more minutes. Gap and crop reversal, I really like to get 5, 10, 15 minutes of action when I'm seeing that that's the pattern. If it's quick early morning reversals on my scan all the time, then I got to change it up, right? Then you saw me doing it the last few months, which is either trading earlier or later, right? We had some really quick morning spikes and quick morning reversals and stuff like that. So right now I'm keeping that in mind. Short sellers out the gate this morning. Probably shorts hitting this lower high right now, potentially. Breakdown of VWAP and such. Zap halted down. Look at that. So, I mean, crazy. But it is up a lot, it's gapping up a ton. I think it's going to 10, generally speaking, on the, from 60% of the time when a small cap stock gets to 7, they go to 10. 60% of the time. It works every time. 100% of the time when it goes to 7, it goes to 10, 60% of the time. Okay. You can see though, fast, huge morning panic. First 3 minutes, it's not gotten lower since. So if I'm short, I've had to wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm probably adding 7, right? And I'm really, really wanting these lows to break, right? And when I am trading the morning action, I'm really coming at it from that lens. If I were short, what would this look like? When would I get scared that it's not going down anymore? It's palpable at times, right? Like right now, I'd be feeling fucking great, right? Great. And now it's like coming to low a day, right? It's coming to low a day. I'm still trading my small account this week, y'all. Right? $3,400. See that? What just happened right there? Even that. Like that's enough for me to be risking low a day. Right? But the idea for me right here, and I don't have any yet, but the idea becomes risk reward. Okay? The idea then becomes risk reward. In other words, this idea. Right? How do I get good risk reward and where are my targets? Really at the end of the day is what I have to ask myself. And if I can't quantify this, not all the time, when there are good macros and great markets, I do some things that are a little bit different in my risk reward profiles and stuff like that. But this becomes really the game for me at the end of the day that has really served me best over time. Okay. Which is okay. I think low a day right now has set 244, right? I've seen a double bottom even. What is good risk reward? Where's my target? Well, my price target has to be VWAP. If it's above, it's usually target 1. And then high of day is target 2. So let's just use high of day, for example. For me to trade this, I have to trade it personally sub 255, 250, right? To get 10, 11 cents risk, okay? And for it to be worth the squeeze of 20, 30, 40, 50 cents upside. Does that make sense? Let me know, please, if that makes sense in chat. That's the game. This is the game. Y'all, this is why I say I don't like breakouts and I don't like buying over VWAP, right? This is why I say that. Like if I'm buying over VWAP, I'm almost always, at least to low of day, getting less than 1-to-1 risk reward. It's not worth it. I can go play blackjack for that. You know what I mean? Personally, I'll go play some blackjack if I want 1-to-1, or I'll go sports gamble, you know, and get better odds. This is why I don't buy through highs of day. This is why I don't buy through pre-market highs. Smash the like for this, by the way. This is going to be, hopefully for some of you, a very aha moment, right? Here's your pre-market highs, which in a great market, huge conviction, great pattern on, you know, when I'm dip buying, that does become a target, okay? So in and of itself, if I am able to nail gap and crap reversal in a great market, okay, I can get like 1-to-10, 1-to-20 sometimes to pre-market highs, right? Look what happens for y'all buying through pre-market highs or even through high a day, which is here, okay? Here's high a day. Okay? Sorry, one sec. If you're enjoying this, smash the like. We got to jam back to my Discord here in a second. But that being said, this is how it looks to me. Okay. Give me my pre-market. These are how I want my trades to be contextualized in my mind. A lot of margin for error, right? I can sell in a VWAP. I can sell in a high day. I can sell in a pre-market high. And at any point, if I'm wrong, and I call this buying patience, by the way, when I do this. And if at any point I'm wrong, right? If at any point I'm wrong, it pulls. So be it. I've locked in. Hence the margin for error and still make money. Okay. De-risk, etc. But when you're buying through, say, high a day, look, even the pre-market highs, if this is the high day, right? Here's your pre-market high. Okay. So that's the range to pre-market highs right here. Okay. Your risk reward is diminished. Okay. And now if you're someone buying through high of day and it fails, this is what I see that trade as. That's why I don't buy it through high of day. I just see it as unlimited downside, especially on a ticker with an S12B priced. Okay. So that's IVP. I hope it reverses. It's been, how many minutes are we into the day now? It's very key for gap and crap reversal ideas. 12 minutes. Okay. 12 minutes. And you can see it trying to protect on the 15-minute chart, this pre-market support resistance area, even right now, right? Even right now, I don't hate this idea. Okay. So I'll be potentially trading this one. I've got VRPX, which has been popping as well onto the scan. Don't know what that is. VRPX. NASDAQ, right? Little pretty quick reversal this morning. Million share float. Okay, I can't chase it. But they're our top percent gainer now. They secured a $2.5 million loan financing agreement and negotiate additional funding, blah, blah, blah. They're like basically doing an offering. That's what that sounds like. So that's that for now. Any questions before I jam real fast? We got to, if you were one of my wolves, we are going to be moving. We're going to get to our live webinar. If you enjoyed this, every single day, I do this live webinar for my students. I trade live every single day like this all morning. All my trades, everything live. The good. We will catch you guys next week. Peace out, you guys. Got to end the stream. We're going to start our webinar at the moment with in the Discord. All right. Make sure you jump down and hit the description if you want to jump into the chat. We are a much different community than most. Okay. We live trade every single day from my community. You know, we're rocking it. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. Everyone have a great, great week. We'll catch you guys next week for pre-market prep. Peace.